Audio check, audio check. I don't know, Marshall. After yesterday, Schilling didn't want to lose his number one, so he got in ahead of you today. So maybe we'll have to make him Barney today, and you could be Grimace. Sorry for the adjustment there. Those of you that are elderly like me will appreciate the fact that the tripod was a little too high, and I had to raise my head a little too much to see through the bottom of my bifocal. So I have to knock her down a little bit so I don't have to look up as much. I don't want to have a sore neck on the way home. Getting old is certainly not fun. Yeah, I will be right back. I'm going to aim you where they are for warm ups. I'm going to take a quick bio break before this game gets started. I'll be right back. All right, good Sunday morning, and Yabba Dabba Doo sports fans. Welcome back to Edge Sports Arena, Bedford, Massachusetts. Game 4, East Coast Wizards season kickoff showcase. Last one before we take the long ride home. Back to the Berg with your Pittsburgh Steel City Selects 16U Tyndall Major. In their traveling blacks. These uniforms are going to be smelly by the time we get home. This is game 4. So moms and dads that do the laundry have the Tide and the other assorted smell good soaps ready. These uniforms are going to need it. And these Assabet Valley, whatever they are, I don't even know. Assabet Valley girls hockey. I'll have to look it up and see what they actually are. But they're the Assabet Valley somethings. I'll figure that out in a second. We're going to do 3 15-minute periods as Barfight trips over her own feet there out by the blue line during the warm-up. I'm going to pull out the phone here and figure out what the Assabet Valley nickname is. It's probably something silly like Barracudas or something like that. They don't appear to have any type of nickname. It just says Assabet Valley Girls Hockey. So we're going to have to decide what we're going to call them. There's a couple of options. Only one of them is probably appropriate. We better go with the Valleys because anything else I'm going to get in trouble. So we'll go with the Valleys because I'm not going to call them Assabet Valley every time they touch the puck. They'll be the Valleys. For those of you that were on this psychotic journey of live streaming last year, you know we called the Little Caesars team in New York the Pizzas and the honey-baked hammers the Hams. So we'll call these girls the Valleys. Schilling confirming no name. So Schilling, to be correct, we're just going to go with the Valleys because any other choice I would make on their name is just going to get me in trouble. So we're going to go with the Valleys. Horn Blue, 3 15-minute periods, and then the long ride on the interstate home. The drive that gets easier as we go because the traffic up here is psychotic. There's 56 million people and enough roads to support about 12, so traffic is everywhere here. Our 19s just played to a 3-3 tie. They had a bunch of penalties in the game prior to us that they let it get away at the end, and they ended up tied. So looks like they're going to play one more after us, so we'll get an hour head start on the turnpike on them on the way home. There's the stick tap. Girls are going to go get final instructions from Tindy Black and Coiner. Tina in the box. This should be Kanachi in net today. We'll see. On the rotation. Marshall wants to go with the Abs. I think we're just going to go with the Valleys. Is that A.A. Rondell out there? He's finally off the secret squirrel mission. Oh, Schilling, she took your number 1 away. It must have something to do with comments then, because you had the number 1 earlier, and now Rebecca took it away from you. I don't even know how that works. All right, we got Desai, Clawhardy, Kanger. Or Desai and Marshall in the backyard. Clawhardy, Kinger, and Pilarski up front. Pilarski going to do the jump play. The 19s are out here watching the game. They're wound up after their game, so you're going to hear them cheering. AA round, you'll finally get some noise from the crowd here. Glad you're at least able to watch if you're still on your secret squirrel mission. You be careful, buddy. And we're off. The Valleys bring it back this way. And Kinger jumps that one. Here come the Valleys. Desai sends it in deep. And it'll go behind the Valley goaltender, where they're going to stop, turn, bring it back the other way. Cut off by Clawhardy over to Kinger. Kinger throws it into the near corner as people are still getting settled here, so your view is going to be a little obstructed. Clawhardy over skates, and here come the Valleys up the far wall. And back to neutral to Marshall. Marshall stops, turns, spins back the other way. This ice looks a little better today. It's not quite as warm here as it was on Thursday, as Clawhardy collides with a Valley in neutral. Puck loose, and Makasenka can't get a stick on it. Kiesel out here now with Zivy in the backyard. I see Stevens, I see Makasenka. Pilarski's going to head to the bench. I'll let Barfight come on. I heard there was some controversy over the Barfight nickname. People didn't understand it. For those of you that missed the first chapters of this book where I explained it, that's her nickname from last year, and we call her that because if you're ever in a bar fight, that's the kid you want with you. So she goes. We call her Barfight. We'll see. We'll see if Tom and Julie are going to let me keep doing that. I don't want to cause any trouble here, but she smiles when I say it. So here come the Valleys back the other way. They chip it too far. It's going to go in behind goaltender Kanachi. As Kiesel's going to steer it around the back way. Valley's taken away. Center out to the high slot. Shot. Barfight kicks out to the far wall. Zivkovic picks it up there. Zivkovic throws it ahead, but not out. And it's going to go all the way back. Kiesel behind Kanachi. Kiesel's going to pick it up there. Send it around. They're listening to me in the arena, which is a little odd because they're on like a 28-second delay. I can't imagine watching this and listening 28 seconds back as Makasenka picks it up and comes up the near wall with space. Makasenka backhands off the goaltender. Barfight gets in there, rebound off the goaltender. It's loose in the high slot. Dole picks it up. Dole shot. Saved to the near corner. As Barfight and Stevens are going to head to the bench. Actually, Barfight didn't. Stevens did. Schuller's out here now. Mrazek, Barfight. Barfight chips it deeper. She's now going to head to the bench as Yenny and Mrazek are out here. As she heads off, this will let Detling jump on. Schuler and Dahl in the backyard. In the corner, they battle. Yenny and Mrazek. Now Detling plasters a Valley into the wall. Yenny backhands it behind the net. Valley's pick it up. Here they come up the near wall. They push it across, and Dahl's going to get there in the corner. Stop and turn. And so far, we're matching them speed-wise. It's a fast team. We watched them play last night. They lost to the Wizards 1-0 on a really bad bounce late in the game. Wizards took a shot. It went off the defensive player's chest into the net. It was a really good game back and forth, and you hate to see a game like that end on a bounce like that. But alas, it did. Oh, they get around the defense, around Marshall. And they missed to the outside. She skated right around Marshall. And now Marshall's going to battle in the corner. Detling's over there. Mrazek's over there. They're battling one Valley. They get it away, and now Desai behind the net. Desai up. Drops it for Yenny. Yenny can't quite pick it up on a tip from, not sure who that was as they change, so we'll see. Valley's bringing it up the wall. Warner out here now with Yenny and Shannon. Yenny gets off. That lets Moss come on. The Wilkes-Barre line's reunited. Marshall beating and banging with Warner and a Valley back there. Up the wall. Moss can't get a stick on it. Valley's put it behind Kanachi. Or Desai's going to pick it up. Desai bounces it behind for Marshall. Marshall sends it around. Too far for Desai. This one comes up to Moss. Moss puts it ahead to Warner. Here comes Warner. Loses the puck as she comes across the blue line. Shannon chips it in deeper. Valley's pick it up, come back the other way. Zivy pushing her to the corner. Shot! Kanachi ramps that up high into the glass. Valley's behind. Throw it off the back of the net. Over to the near corner. Shannon's not going to get there. The Valleys get their first Zivy fight. Now comes up to Shannon. She backhands it, but not out. Valleys push it deeper. Warner chipping and banging. Shannon backhands it ahead. Gets it up to Moss. Moss can't chip it by that Valley. Now she backhands it, and she's going to head to the bench. The select Claherty and Kinger jump on. Shannon needs to hit the bench, or Warner needs to hit the bench to let Pilarski come out. Kiesel chasing back, sends it ahead. Warner heads off, and here comes Pilarski. They chip it up ahead. Kinger knocks it down. Kinger in deep. Kinger across for Claherty. Claherty shoots across, high over the crossbar. She was backpedaling there and didn't quite get the right angle as Kiesel steps up. Kiesel tries to throw it on net, blocked by a Valley. Kiesel stops, turns, throws it deeper. Claherty covers her. Now they'll flip-flop. Send it around behind, around to the far side, where Zivkovic tries to hold. Battling on the wall with a couple of Valleys. Kinger, Zivkovic, and a couple of Valleys. Now Pilarski comes in there. Pilarski comes out of there with it. Dancing. Loses it in front of the net. In behind the net now. Valleys throw it around the other way. Zivkovic point. Zivkovic throws it in front. Goaltender gloves it. And with 9:18, we're going to get a stoppage. I'm going to adjust my QA phone here. I can't quite see it. Bar fight Stevens and Makasenka, Schuler and Dahl in the backyard. Bar fight puts it over towards Stevens. Stevens can't get around that Valley as she falls down. Dahl bounces it in front. Goaltender puts that to the end wall. Stevens tried to put it in front for bar fight, couldn't. Makasenka puts it in front, chipped away by a Valley to the near wall. Valley beating and banging over there with bar fight. They push it up the wall. Now Schuler's going to have to retreat. Big Valley coming up the wall here. Schuler stopped her in the puck and held it. Now Barfight picks it up, skates in with it. Barfight with a shot. Goaltender with that fast glove. 8:44. And we're going to go to the corner. Tendy calling a face-off play here. Stevens dropping back. No, she's not. I thought she was going to drop back for a snipe here, but no. Pushing him back a little back there. They push it over into the corner. Stevens picks it up. Shot off the goalie. It's loose in front. Schuler cranks one up high. Everybody ducked out of the way. You could see the defenseman duck as that thing came like a rifle shot at her head. And here come the Valleys back the other way. Schuler back. Barfight skating to get back. Shot. Kanachi knocks that down. Barfight chips it up the wall. And they cannot get it out. It goes over to the far side. Dahl. Up ahead to Stevens. Stevens backhands it ahead and heads to the bench as it drifts into the near corner. This one comes bouncing up the wall. Makasenka holds it. Makasenka battling with it. Loses it into the corner. Still chasing it. Makasenka tries to throw it in front for Detling. Can't get it there. Detling back to Makasenka in the corner. Makasenka looking. Puts it back to Detling. Too far off the side of the net. Desai cheats in. Picks it up there. Throws it in front of the goal mouth. It's loose. Mrazek can't do anything with it. Into the corner. Mrazek beating banging. Valley send it up Desai. Desai throws it back into the corner. Too far for Detling. All the way around. Marshall's going to cheat in. Yenny covers her high. Marshall takes a shoulder. Yenny stops, chips. Now Detling. Detling leaves it for Yenny. Yenny dances into the corner with it. Down deeper. Yenny throws it in front. Goaltender with a cover. 7:26 first period. Detling drops it into the corner. Valleys get there first. Around to the backside. Valleys up the far wall. Through the center. Marshall kicking a stick on it. Valley on a breakaway. One-on-one with Kanachi. Kanachi says no. Puck into the near corner. She lost her paddle. Desai was going to give her paddle to Kanachi, and she didn't. We got a dog barking next to me here. Mrazek holds it. Mrazek chips it ahead. Too far for Yenny on a bouncing puck. Here come the Valleys. Cross check up high on Marshall from 87 of the Valleys. No call. I think these are the same stripes as we had last game. One of them fell down hard. Tripped over his own feet. Loose in behind. Warner picks it up. We got the Wilkes-Barre line out here now. At least 2/3 of it. Yenny's going to head to the bench now. Moss will jump out. Shannon blisters that girl. And they're going to call delayed offsides. And we're clear. Shannon just blistered that girl with his shoulder coming down. That's going to go all the way down. And that's going to be an icing. Come back the other way. 6:17. Wilkes-Barre line out here with Kiesel and Zivy. Into the corner. The Valleys are going to pick it up, come across. Shannon applies pressure, turns it back the other way. Moss picks it away. Moss throws it behind the goaltender. Valleys are going to get there first. Chip it up ahead. Zivy battling with that Valley. Warner gets there, chips back. They're beating, they're banging. Puck loose. Valleys kick it. Now they pick it up, send it out. Kiesel should get there first, although this Valley's got good speed. Kiesel does what she can with it, but can't get it out as it goes up into the protective netting and out of the rink. Off the shoulder of Kiesel. As Darwin picks it up, but he's got nowhere to give it to them. He's going to have to open a door. And he just puts it on the shelf by the door. Then he opens the door and hands it to Stripes. So they're going to go here in the near corner. 5:46. As Warner leaves it for Moss. Moss picks it up near boards. Moss up ahead. Too far for Shannon. That's going to go all the way down, and that's going to be an icing. 5:37. I'll get the clock back in line. And we'll come back down here. Yes, Schilling, there's a dog sitting next to me barking. Detling has her dog here, and it's barking. Puck in behind for Marshall. Marshall throws it up ahead for Pilarski, leaves it for Claherty. Claherty, King holding the line. Claherty over to King. King back to Claherty on the give and go. Malia Claherty low right corner, and it's 1-0 Steel City. And it's 1-0 Steel City, and the dog is barking. Claherty, Kinger back to Claherty on the give and go. And it's 1-0. The dog is crying. Pilarski tries to go and it didn't work. Dull. Now Claherty. Claherty up for Pilarski. Here she comes 1-on-2. Pilarski flips it in behind the goaltender. And they go chase it. Pilarski with an aggressive move to get there and get a stick on the puck. Here come the Valleys back the other way. Schuler turned the wrong way, recovers. They chip it through the center. Here come the Valleys. They cut it off. Here comes Kinger. Kinger to Claherty into Pilarski's feet. Pilarski stops, turns, throws it, but doesn't quite get it through to Kinger. You got Dahl put the stick on it and separates it. Now they're battling here at the blue line. They retreat back. They come across. Barfight picks her pocket, and here she comes down the far wall. Barfight puts it around the near wall. Schuler fan trying to throw it deeper. Schuler gets leveled. Dahl sends it in. Stevens and Makasenka are going to go chase it down as Dahl heads to the bench. Stevens chases it down. She's holding it in the corner. Throws it in front. Nobody there. Puck over to the far wall. Now here come the Valleys. Kiesel chases that away. Stops it. Valleys pick it up. Come back the other way. 1-on-1 with Schuler. Shot. Kanachi with the glove. Can't hold the rebound. Save on the rebound into the near corner. Schuler looking up. Hits Makasenka. It bounces off the tape and comes back the other way. Here come the Valleys. Stevens told Stevens he wants her to big rig a little more. We'll see what happens. Stevens tops, turns, throws it to Makasenka. Bouncing puck. She can't control it. Now she picks it up near side. Still having trouble controlling it. Stops, turns, pushed into the wall, loses it to a Valley. That puck came blistering through there. Mrazek beating, banging, chopping. And now they're going to chase it down into the corner. Kiesel's there with Detling. Detling leaves it for Mrazek. Mrazek chips it ahead. Detling can't get a stick on it. Valleys come back the other way. Valleys. They center it. Detling stood that player up. Here comes Zivkovic. Zivkovic with Mrazek and Makasenka ahead. Zivkovic's going to skate it. Makasenka heads to the bench. Zivkovic gains the red line, throws it deep, or gains the blue line, throws it deeper. Mrazek in behind the net, going to go battle a Valley 37 times her size, but she's in there battling. Detling throws it in front. Mrazek still battling with the giant Valley. Yenny with a shot in front, can't quite get it in. Kiesel waits for the zone to clear. Yenny stops, turns, throws it through a Valley's feet. It's loose. Mrazek picks it up, beats and bangs it past stripes. Valley stop, turn, throw it back the other way. Here it comes through neutral. Kiesel. We're stuck in a change. We're tripping over each other on the bench. Kiesel coming down the near wall. Recovering for that bad change. Yenny bouncing puck in front. Goes through everybody. It's in Warner's feet. So we're in the middle of a change here. We got Warner and Shannon on the Wilkes-Barre line. We got one still trapped out here in Yenny as Zivy battles on the end line with a Valley. Shannon sends it ahead, can't get it to Warner. Shot, Kanachi never got all the way through. Out to the high slot, over to the near point. Shot, never got all the way through, knocked down by Kiesel. Kiesel picks it up there, throws it ahead back to a Valley at neutral. And they're skating through, and Warner stands that player up. Here comes a Valley down the near wall around Yenny. And Kiesel and Warner collapse and knock her down. And now Desai's going to battle. Over to the far point. Shot. Bouncing puck. Never got all the way through. Tipped. Desai battling back there. Desai out here with Kiesel now. We got Warner, Yenny, and Shannon. Yenny's been trapped out here for a while. No Moss. As this puck goes over to the near wall. They shoot it across to the far point. Up to the near point, and they bring it out themselves, and that should let Yenny finally get to the bench, but that's probably going to cost Moss her. No, she doesn't go. It's probably going to cost Moss her whole shift. As Marshall finally gets out here with the side. Kiesel and Yenny got trapped on the far side of the ice. Yenny got off. Now Moss finally comes out, but this is going to be a short shift for her as Yenny got trapped quite a bit out here. Up ahead to Shannon. She tips it. They're going to have to go chase it down in the corner. And the Valleys send it around back with 1:05. This one loose in the corner. It's in Warner's feet, or Moss's feet, rather. Desai steps up, whacks at it. Puck comes back the other way. Here come the Valleys with 55 to go. They get around Warner. Marshall, the only one back now. They skate in on Kanachi. Kanachi says no. Rebound. Warner cleans it away. Out to the far point. Shot from the far point. Knocked down by, that would have been Desai. Claherty can't quite pick it up. Pilarski on here with Claherty. Moss still stuck now. And Pilarski picks that up. Sends it back the other way with 30 seconds to go. They wave off the icing. Kinger comes out. Pilarski comes in front. Claherty can't get a stick on it. Kinger throws it in front. Goaltender with a cover. They were buzzing around that net. .21-5 here in the arena. Kinger, Pilarski, Claherty, Schuller, and Dull in the backyard. Kinger over to Pilarski, out to Schuller. Schuller throws it, tipped into the corner where Kinger's going to pick it up there. Kinger in front, comes through everybody. Out front, shot, loose in front, rebound, score! Alyssa Pilarski on the rebound, and it's 2-0 Selects. Pilarski there to clean up the rebound, and it's 2-0. With 9.5 to go here in the arena. And the dog didn't like that goal. It didn't bark. Nine and a half to go. Dies on the dot. It's in Stripes' feet. They push it back to the Valleys. Pilarski's going to chase it with 3 to go, 2 to go. Behind the net, 1. That's it. Period 1 over. We're up 2-0. We'll be back for period number 2. So this early in the year, coming up here to play these Boston area teams, which generally start 4 to 6 weeks ahead of when we start, which makes a big difference this time of year as a team's forming. We didn't quite know what to expect. I got to be honest with you. I've watched and more importantly called a lot of hockey in the last 7 years. And I can tell you, if this is our starting point, I like what I see. We're missing Klein. We're missing Taylor. We got the girls coming up from the other team. I like what I see from this team. So let's stay tuned as the season goes on. But as Tindy said the other night in the parent meeting, he's probably installed about 5% of the strategery that he wants to install with this team. And this is what they're doing against, quite frankly, some really good teams up in the Boston area. So we'll take it for now. You know, I don't want to count any chickens before they hatch by any means. I mean, we haven't even laid the eggs yet, for crying out loud, let alone hatching them. But this early in the year, these girls are flying, and they look good. And, if they can stay together and stay organized, it can only go up from here. So as the voice of these selects, I'm excited for what's to come as the season progresses. We'll come out for period 2. Kinger, Claherty, Pilarski, Zivy, and Kiesel as Kanachi takes the long skate to the right for period number 2, the period of the long change. See if Pilarski's going to try the jump again. They're strategizing here. They're switching sides as Kinger hits Claherty in the butt with the stick. Now they're both on this side. We'll see. This might be the new play. No, Kinger's going to go step in and take the draw here. So I think they're just messing with these girls. I don't know. Oh no, wait. Now here we go. Now we're going to go around the back way. There goes Kinger. Didn't work. The Valleys bank it in behind Kanachi. And Kiesel sends it up the wall and not out past Stripes to the far point. That Valley struggles with it, knocks it behind Stripes, in behind Kanachi. where Zivvy's going to pick it up. She can't get much lumber on that at all, and the Valley send it up the wall. Clardy out to Kinger. Kinger coming through neutral. Kinger chips it by a Valley. She's getting pushed. She's getting shoved. She picks the puck up behind. Still getting pushed. Still getting shoved. Still skating with the puck. She lost it now. Pilarski. Pilarski beating, banging back there. Tries to push it up into the top of the zone. Can't. Gets it to the wall. Valley's pick it up there. Clardy sends it deeper. Pilarski over to Kinger. Kinger below the red line. Kinger in front. Can't get it through to Clardy streaking. Kiesel with a shot. Goaltender with a glove. And we're going to get a stoppage with 14-13 in the arena. Here comes Makasinka, Stevens, and Barfight with Dahl and Schuler. Makasinka going to take this draw. Puts it over to Barfight. Barfight out to Dahl. Schuler. Out. Schuler over to Dahl. Dahl trying to knock it in front. Stevens had the blade down, but Dahl couldn't get it there. And here they come the other way. Makasinka gets a stick in. Now Schuler gets a stick in. Separates that player from the puck. Barfight. Barfight up the far wall with Stevens. Barfight gains the red line. Dumps it. Throws it in behind the goaltender. Where Stevens is going to go, but not before the Valley send it up the wall. Makasinka standing there holding the point. Throws it in front off the skate of a Valley. And Barfight pressuring around the backside. They send it around to the near wall. Where Dahl's going to step up. Not sure who's covering her high. Nobody. You've got to keep an eye on this. Now Barfight gets up here. And they send it all the way down, and that should be and is an icing. 13-25. Come back down here for the draw. Yenny Detling and Mrazek out here with Desai and Marshall in the backyard. Carol, it's all plugged into me, so if it's cutting out, I don't know. Schilling, tell me if I got audio issues. That's the second complaint we've had on audio. I'm plugged in. It looks good. I don't know if it's the connection here or what, but give me a comment, Schill. Battling in the corner, Detling and Marshall. A couple of Valleys. Keep an eye for Schilling here. They continue to battle. Go get a sandwich while they battle. And they finally blow it dead. Everything's plugged in and tight. Rebecca says no issues. Rebecca had to back out and come back in. Schilling said it dropped a few times. It's looking good here. I don't know. I mean, we're at the mercy of the rink-provided Wi-Fi. I use 4 or 5 different methods, and this was the best today. It's only doing about 13 up, Schill, so you know that's kind of the borderline of where this is going to work. Detling we're going to get Detling on a rough here. They're going to send Detling to the bin on a rough here. Hit her up high, back of the head and neck area. Now they're going to give her a cross check. Looked like a rough to me. Schilling says it sounds good after his restart. So if you're in there, maybe jump out, hit the link, come back in, and drag it all the way to the right and go live. We're at the mercy of the Wi-Fi here. If I was a professional operation, I'd travel with a satellite truck and bring wires and all that other stuff. But we're not, so we don't. Loose in the slot. Shot! Kanachi got a pad on that, knocked it to the far wall. Battling over there. They send it around behind Kanachi. If I could convince Mercedes to put a portable satellite transmitter on the top of a GLS, we could make that happen. But I just don't think the demand is there. As this one comes out to the far point. Oh, it's broken away by Kinger. Here comes Kinger on the short-handed play here. We'll see what she can do. Kinger shot. Nobody there on the rebound. Obviously, was short. Don't want to get trapped back. They send it all the way down. That's going to go down, and that should be and is an icing. 11:55. We'll come back this way. Schilling knows. Chewing gum, duct tape, and aluminum foil to make all this work. And a whole host of assorted other random electronics crap from Amazon. A couple of stickers from Michael. A bunch of coffee. A couple of protein drinks. You got yourself an amateur broadcasting operation. Bar fight battling into the corner. Now it goes all the way around where Yenny's going to step up. No, Valley cuts that off. This time they send it up the wall, and it's going to get all the way back. Here come the Valleys. Zivkovic back. Cross ice pass too far over to the wall. And Kiesel's going to pick it up. Here they come shorthanded again. Kiesel picks it up, dumps it down. Icing is not a whistle this year on the power play. New rules from USA Hockey. And they're going to send it back the other way now, the Valleys do, with 12 seconds to go in the power play. Lindsay's telling me her audio's good. Kiesel. Around the back. Up for, couldn't get it to Yenny. As Detling comes out of the box and joins Yenny in bar fight. Kanachi makes a big save. Puck over to the far wall. Bouncing in behind Kanachi now. Zivkovic should get there first. She does. Can't get it up the wall, though, as Barfight chips it ahead to Detling, and here she comes up the wall in front of us, kicking it. She's fighting off of Valley. Gets position on her. Tries to center it for Yenny. Couldn't get it through. Detling and that Valley still battling. Now it comes all the way around. Warner gets a stick on it. Warner stops, turns, skating with it, can't hold it. And here come the Valleys back the other way. Marshall backhands it in deep from inside the red line and behind the Valley goaltender. And this one's going to come over to the near wall where the Valleys are going to send a cross-ice pass now ahead. One-on-one with Marshall. They dump it and go for a change. Desai going to chase it down in the near corner. We got the Wilkes-Barre line out here. Desai up the Moss off her skate. Moss turns, leaves it for Desai. Here she comes. Desai up the near wall with space and speed. Chips it in behind. Where they're going to pick it up, the Valleys will, and send it up ahead. But not before Zivy tried to hold it. Now here come the Valleys 3-on-0 with Kanachi. Oh, they missed the net on a 3-on-0 breakaway. They missed the net to the far side. Kanachi's breathing a sigh of relief there because she would have made the first save and been in real trouble on the rebound as the side's beating and banging on somebody in front of the net. Collision, Warner and the Valley fall down. Puck behind Kanachi. Valley's pick it up near corner. They're buzzing right now. We got to get this puck out. They send it across, and now Shannon will finally get it out up ahead. Moss can't corral it. Valley's pick it up, come back the other way. Valleys, top of the slot. They drop it over to the far side. Marshall skates over. Shot loose in front. Kanachi says no. With 9:18 to go. Here comes Claherty, Pilarski, Kinger. Dahl and Schuler. 9:18 to go, second period. The long ride home awaits. Claherty drops it back. Schuler up ahead to Kinger. Kinger tries to push it ahead to Claherty. Stripes in the way. Claherty down the far wall with it. Gets a shot off. Misses everything near side. Dahl skates over. Dahl throws it in deep. 3 Valleys there. You got Claherty battling. Kinger battling. Pilarski trying to get in position in case it comes free. She does. Pilarski in front. They can't get it to her. Over to Schuler. Schuler back to Dahl. It hits her on the backhand. Dahl throws it back around behind. You got Pilarski there going to battle. Valley's pick it up first. Here they come back the other way. They try to get it ahead. Schuler cut that off. They were cherry picking. Now they're going to gain the red line. They're going to tip it ahead. Claherty. Claherty chips it back out. Her and Pilarski are there. Here come the Valleys back the other way. Schuler gets another stick in there. They throw it in front. Dahl gets a stick in there and knocks it down. Leaves it for Pilarski. Here comes Pilarski up the near wall. Pilarski ahead. Too far for Kinger. Kinger skates over and picks it back up. Has Claherty coming down the near wall. She overskated the puck as it bounced off her stick. Up to Pilarski. Pilarski down the far wall. Leaves it around back. Still skating. Stops. Turns. Throws it out front. Kinger couldn't get a stick on it. Dahl skates up. Dahl backhands it. Skates in with it. Throws it in front. Can't get it through. Now Pilarski with a shot. Kinger loose in front. Kinger around the back for Claherty. Claherty. Come up high here to Kiesel. No. Claherty. Still dancing with it. Loses it in front. You got Zivkovic settling it down. Zivkovic bouncing, hit Claherty with it. Stop, turn, Pilarski, point blank range, goaltender with a save. They throw it in behind Kinger. Kinger puts it up the wall, Zivkovic dancing with it down the wall. Zivkovic throws it in front, misses everything to the near side. Kinger pushes it around to Claherty. Valley picks it up there. Now Claherty has it, loses it, up the wall. Kinger plastered into the wall, can't get her stick on the puck, and Kiesel's going to have to retreat as Barfight jumps on and starts chasing. Barfight and Kiesel separate that perfect look. Here comes Kiesel with space. Makasenka on the screen. Kiesel over, tried to get it over to Makasenka, couldn't do it. Steve Claherty overskated. Here come the Valleys back the other way. Zivkovic. They dance right around Zivkovic. They get in. Kanachi says no and covers it up. 7 minutes even to go. Second period. So bar fight, Makasenka, Stevens out here now with Kiesel and Zivkovic. As Makasenka comes out of there with it but can't clear it. Valley's with a puck over on the far wall. Down the half wall, loose in front. Zivkovic leaves it for Makasenka. Makasenka chips it, can't get it out, but not far. Valley's bring it back across. They send it up ahead to the blue line where Kiesel whacks at it. Kiesel's still whacking at it. Now Barfight joins in. Kiesel puts it ahead. Stevens whacking at it. Kiesel stops, turns, looks up ahead, gets it to Makasenka. Makasenka battling on the wall. Tried to put it across to Stevens. Couldn't get it there. Here they come up the near wall. Stevens gets there. Don't big rigger from behind, Stevens. Stevens lost her lumber. She's got to try to find it. At this point, get to the bench. Lumber's on the ice. She's useless without the lumber. Stevens just pushing now. She's skating over here. She's going to big rig the girl into the wall without the lumber. Careful, you don't hold here, Stevens. She still doesn't know where the lumber is. Now she finds it. Loose in front, Canacci with a save. Still loose in front, Canacci with the cover. 5:57. Stevens reclaims the lumber and heads to the bench. Desai, Marshall, King or Claherty, Pilarski on a defensive zone face-off. Pilarski puts it in the corner for Desai. Desai battling, sends it around the backside. Marshall's there. Marshall can't get a stick on the puck. Now she will. Doesn't get much on it. Can't get it out. High slot. Shot from the high slot. Blocked by Desai. Here they come. No. We can't turn it around the other way. The Valleys pick it up. They're offsides. And that's going to be a whistle, and they'll bring it back in front of their bench for a draw. Kinger steps in for this one. Pilarski cheating way out over here. Gonna try to jump it. And it's going to work if she gets there. Here she comes, one-on-one. Pilarski shot, missed everything high over the far side. Claherty gets in there. Claherty throws it around back. Pilarski can't get a stick on it. Over to the near point. Kinger gets in there, gets a stick on it. The side trying to hold it. They push it into the center of the ice. Comes loose as Marshall chips it in. That's a delayed offsides call. They get out. Now they can go get it. The Valleys have it. They send it across the zone. Marshall skates across. Marshall chips, knocks it in. Kinger chasing low. Puck around in the near corner. Desai steps up. Can't hold it. Now Desai comes out of there with it. Kaya Desai with a shot. Goaltender with a save. Desai picked her pocket. Got a shot off. Couldn't convert. They're going to go to the near corner. Mrazek, Detling, Yenny, Schuler and Dull. 4:57. Into the corner, Yenny battling, out to the point, Dull, can't get a stick on it. She retreats, here they come down the near wall in a group. The Valleys have it. Schuler, the last one back, they drop it. Schuler still pushing, shot, Canacci with the rebound save, pushes it to the corner. Yenny tried to chip it behind the net instead of up the wall, and now it goes out to the far point. Schuler gets a stick in there. Now they chip it lower, do the Valleys. Valleys try to center. Schuler got a stick on that one. Here she comes with the puck behind the net. Loses it, regains it, pushes it across to Detling. Mrazek tries to chip it out, can't. Detling pushing the player, the puck, everything, trying to get it out of the zone, can't. Finally comes out. Yenny gets a stick in there, and they send it back this way. Now here come the Valleys back up the far wall. Valleys with a shot, missed everything to the near corner. Push it around the backside. Mrazek. Schuler battling behind the net with 3:50 to go. Two Valleys and Schuler. This one comes in on Canacci. She pushes it low. In the corner, the Valleys. Push it around behind. Out to the near point. Push it back to the near point. They throw it that was the far point. Now they're on the near point. Mrazek with pressure. They throw it in the corner. I'll get the near and the far figured out. It's only been 5 or 6 years of this. Shot. They have it on the near point. Mrazek pushes the player and the puck deeper. Detling tries to shoulder and misses. Dull. Battling. Detling steps in. Valley, Dull, Detling, Valley. 4 of them there. Beating, banging, battling. Mrazek comes out there with a puck, loses it to a Valley. She gets pushed into the wall. They continue to battle. Now Detling joins. Dull joins. It's loose behind. Schuler tried to whack at it. Couldn't quite get it. Yenny will get there. Yenny chips it deeper instead of out. Now Detling sends it up the wall. Or I'm sorry, Schuler sends it up the wall. Valleys have it. Chip it by Dull. We've been down here a long time, girls. We got to get this out. Loose in front. Kanachi. Oh, no, we're getting a penalty in front. It's going to be a penalty probably on Schuler here. We'll see. As Kanachi touches, I think Schuler's going to go sit down for a trip in front. We'll find out here shortly, but I think it's going to be Schuler with a trip. Oh, no, it's going to be Yenny. Going to be Yenny. I think he called a hook. Either way, she's in the box. They send out King or Pilarski. Zivy, Kiesel. Minute 30 on the penalty. 2:30 on the period. Face-off. Defensive zone. Down a player. Kanachi directs that into the corner. Or Kinger chips it up the wall. Zivy comes over to battle. Valleys send it out front. It's loose. High slot. They dance around one player. Dance around another player. Shot. Kanachi says no. Covers it up with 2:11 to go in the arena. Minute 10 on the penalty. The dog is eating something under the bleachers. God only knows what. There's part of my microphone down there. Hopefully he's not eating it. I lost the little foam doohickey. Shot from the near point. Kanachi says no. It was actually the far point. I'll get it right. Yeah, Schilling, I lost my little foam doohickey. Thankfully, I bought like a gross of those things on Amazon for 38 cents, and I just keep them in the bag. The odd thing is at 38 cents, somebody in China made 36 cents on that deal. And Kiesel clears it all the way back down here. .53 seconds on the penalty. This penalty's taken forever. Had a couple of stoppages. They come up the near wall as Kiesel tangles with the player in front of the net. It's loose in front. They got that power play goal. They beat Kanachi in tight. And it's now 2-1 on a power play goal. 55 seconds into the power play with 1:41 to go in the arena. We got a power play goal. Gave up the power play goal, I should say. So now we're going to get Kinger, Pilarski, and Clardy out here with, see, it's going to be Marshall and Desai in the backyard still. Power play goal on the penalty to Yenny. Pilarski takes this draw. Drops it off to Marshall, or Clardy rather, streaking. Clardy with space. Clardy shoots, misses everything high. Over to the far side, Desai. Desai chips it lower to Clardy. Clardy comes out with it, puts it in front. Couldn't get, there was nobody there. Wherever she put it, there was nobody there. As the Valleys come up the other side, dance around Marshall. Valleys gain the line. They put it in front. Backdoor pass. Kanachi says no, can't cover it. This one's in the near corner with 1:14 to go. They go around to the far side now. Out to the far point. Over to the near point. Shot from the near point, knocked down by Pilarski. Pilarski up to Clardy. Here comes Clardy with a burst. Clardy. She's going to take a shoulder. She gets pushed off the puck. Pilarski picks it up. Pilarski with a shot. Can't do anything with it as she gets pulled down. They pulled them both down going in. And we'll see what's going to happen here. I think we're going on. The Powerball power play. As they're going to sit one of the Valleys. Marshall, Pilarski, Stevens, Clardy, Kinger. 54.6 on the arena clock. This one's a snipe for Stevens shot here. Let's see if they can pull it off. Should go Pilarski to Kinger. Didn't quite work. Kinger chips it around behind. Clardy's going to have to go dig it out. It goes up high and all the way down, and Marshall's going to go chase her down with 41 to go. We're calling for it. Marshall reverses direction. Marshall taking heavy pressure back there, loses the puck. Stevens chips it ahead. Here comes Stevens with it. Stevens up ahead to Pilarski. Pilarski up ahead to Kinger. Kinger back to Pilarski. Pilarski. And she's offsides on herself with 26-1 in the arena. That one just never got going quite right. So we'll do it again. In front of the bench. Pilarski, or Kinger rather, over to Claherty. Can't quite corral it. Now Claherty picks it up. Here she comes up the far wall, chips it in deep. In around behind the goaltender. They chip it up the wall. Stevens can't hold it. It's going to go all the way down. And with 12 seconds to go, that's probably going to do it for this penalty or for this period. Marshall behind Kanachi. Marshall up for Pilarski with 4 to go. Pilarski pulls it in. And they're going to call it offsides, and they got 1 second left in the arena. Stripes was a little slow on the whistle there. We got 1 second to go in the arena. My clock's already expired. I'm not going to mess with it. And we'll drop the puck, blow the horn, come out for period number 3. And that's exactly what happens. We played 2. We got 1 to go. 2-1 selects. We got 35 seconds of power play time left when we come back for period number 3. You're watching Wicked Slapshot Productions. We got a new segment here, penalties with Pilarski. He's trying to teach the moms all the penalty calls here. The moms are trying to learn the penalty calls. No, slashing and tripping are not the same.
Okay, let's see the difference.
That's hooking. That's hooking. That's tripping.
Tripping, what's slashing?
I don't know. He's the one making the demos. I'm the one making the video here.
Oh, slashing.
So this is an unplanned segment called Penalties with Pilarski.
Good. What other ones do you have? Cross-check.
All right. Going to come out for period number 3 here. We got PK or power play 1. Stevens, Claherty, Kinger, Pilarski, and Marshall. As Pilarski's finished his penalty lesson here. 35 seconds to go on the power play, 15 minutes to go in the game, 15 minutes to go in the showcase before we start the race to GPS home. Stevens picks it up, sends it down the far wall. As Pilarski cuts that chop off and holds it there. They send it up the wall. Stevens puts it in front, can't get it through to Claherty. They try to clear. Marshall's going to hold. Marshall down the far wall. Beating, banging, bouncing. They send it out. Stevens cranks that slapper. Hits somebody in the leg. Marshall from that position now. Marshall throws it in front. Missed everything to the near side. Stevens finally got a chance to crank one. Ended up hitting somebody in the leg. Not sure who. As Kinger and Claherty battle for the puck against each other. Claherty out front, loose in front. Pilarski bangs it home. Power play goal. The power play might have just expired. There's no time. That we had 35 seconds to go, and we're at 36 into the period. So technically, probably not a power play goal, but their player had barely gotten back on the ice, and it's 3-1 on a goal by Pilarski. Yeah, Schilling, he did get it right. He was chopping the arm there at the end. I had already faded back this direction. Bring the Wilkes-Barre line out here now. As Zivvy's going to pick it up, send it in. Cut off by Warner now. This one comes across back to Zivkovic. Zivkovic takes a heavy shoulder, can't get it in. Warner cuts that, or Shannon cuts that one off, can't get it in though. As the Valleys come back the other way, Zivkovic locked in a battle. Warner, they skate around her, across to another Valley. Shot, Kanachi got that glove on that one and tipped it to the far corner. Warner can't get a stick on that one. Zivkovic will step up as Warner laid out that Valley. Zivkovic throws it up high, hits Warner in the shoulder. Warner across to Moss. Moss comes back the other way, do the Valleys in behind Kanachi now as she watches the puck bounce off the end wall. Zivkovic gets there. Kanachi's going to cover it with 13:30 to go. Showing those the GPS race. It was 9 hours and 30 minutes on the way up here, and including 4 stops and Boston traffic. We did it in 8:45. We're looking to break that record on the way home. Out to the near point, over to the far point. Stevens with a big block. Into the near circle. They throw it in front. Stevens gets a stick on that one and knocks it down. And the GLS got 24 coming out here, which at that speed I'll take. Marshall banks it off the wall, can't catch up to it. Stevens gets stumped. Here they come. We're going to have to hurry up here. Desai's going to need to hurry in. Desai does hurry in. They cut the pass off and send it in front. Bar fight, cut that off. Now they're fresh off the bench. Near point, down to the near corner. Stevens is going to cut that off and throw it back the other way. It's going to go slow. Goalie's going to come out and play it, which will wave off the icing. It was probably too slow for icing anyway. Barfight gets a stick in there and knocks it down. Makasenka comes out of there with it. Makasenka across to Mrazek. Niner gets stood up. Barfight tips it lower. Now they send it back the other way. They tip it past Dahl. Dahl's going to race down here. Dahl gets a hip up and knocks that player down. Mrazek chips it. The Valleys send it in deeper. They send it up ahead to Mrazek. It's in her feet. She gets spun off the puck by a Valley. They send it back the other way. Down into the far corner. This one bounces out to the near point. Shot blocked. Comes out to that was the far point shot blocked to the near point. And now they're taking it in behind Kanachi. Schuler heavy pressure. No, that's Detling heavy pressure. Schuler's there too. Now they battle into the corner. They send it out to the near point. Slap shot from there. Kanachi gets the lumber on it. Bends down. Covers it up. 11:42. 3-1 selects. Kiesel and Zivy coming to the backyard. Claherty, Pilarski, Kinger coming up out front. This one, Kiesel brings it behind Kanachi. Stops, turns, spins up the wall to Kinger. Kinger sends it lower. Valleys have it behind Kanachi. They push it up the far wall, out to the far point. Oh, they lost it. Here comes Claherty in a front race. Claherty's going to get there first to pick it up. Claherty in a breakaway. Malia Claherty, top left corner. Claherty with the jump. And it's 4-1 Steel City. Claherty got a good jump on that loose puck. Skates it down the far wall. Trying to get Tina to do her crab dance in the box, but she looks a little frozen over there. Somebody text Tina, tell her to do her crab dance. She's looking at her phone. As Claherty jumps one, and it's 4-1. This one comes into the near corner. Kinger holds it. It's loose up at the top. Kiesel's going to have to retreat. Here she comes down. They come down the near wall. Kiesel pushing her to the corner. Centering pass cut off by Zivkovic. They push it back to neutral. Here comes Pilarski jumping one now. Pilarski down the far wall. Pilarski with a shot blocked up into the netting. Pilarski jumped the loose puck in with 10:53 to go in the period. We're going to get another draw. This will go to the far point, far circle rather. The Wilkes-Barre line comes out with Marshall and Desai. This one comes out. Desai puts it in front for Moss. Moss with a shot. Around back to Shannon. Shannon playing with it. Out front to Warner. Warner shoots. Missed everything high. It's loose in front. Warner chopping. Desai comes out. Drops it for Marshall. It comes out. Marshall retreats. Marshall stops, turns, spins. Marshall Dancing with the puck. Heavy pressure from a Valley. Valley falls down. Marshall still chips it right up and tries to kill the girls on the bench, does Marshall. Thankfully, there wasn't a lot of mustard on that hot dog as Coach Black holds the puck out for Stripes. She's going to take it over. They're going to take it over to the far corner for Warner. Draw out to a Valley. Valley skates in with it. Missed everything high. Around the backside. Tipped out. Moss can't get a stick on it. Loose near circle. Comes past everybody into the far corner. Valleys. They're beating, they're banging, they're whacking. Shannon. Warner. Valley comes down the near side. Centering pass. Shot! Kanachi gets a stick on that one. Pushes it over. It's loose. Valley's in front. Kanachi with a big pad save. Warner chips it ahead to Shannon. Shannon has Moss. Shannon waited a little bit too long to get it to Moss. Moss has to retreat. Shannon had to settle it down and couldn't get it to Moss. They sent it down, and that's going to be an icing. Let's see where we're going to go here. Oh, no, it's going to be a penalty on the Valleys. It's going to be a trip on the Valleys. I didn't even see that one. So Stevens, Kinger, Pilarski, Marshall, and Claherty come out. 9:41 in the arena, 1:30 on the power play. As Pilarski drops it back to Stevens. Can't quite corral it. Now Pilarski picks it up. Pilarski looking across, trying to get it to Claherty. Can't. Pilarski puts it in front. It's loose. They're beating, they're banging, they're whacking. Marshall throws it in front. We got a tip. Claherty comes out to the point, goes by everybody. Marshall's going to go chase it down. Marshall in the far corner. Stevens yelling a play to her as Pilarski comes up with it ahead to Stevens. Now Claherty picks it up. Claherty tried to chip it across the Kinger, couldn't. Valleys pick it up there. They send it all the way back down, and Kanachi could stop this one and send it back. She's going to hold it as Marshall take it heavy fire, overskates it. They send it in on Kanachi. Stevens picks it up. Stevens looking up. Pilarski didn't ever stick down, and it goes all the way down past Stripes where the Valleys will pick it up, come back the other way. Stevens ran into the boards trying to big rig somebody. As this one comes up to Kinger. Kinger chips it down the wall. It's going to come back to neutral, or Pilarski's going to gain the zone. Pilarski still skating. Pilarski loses it in the corner. Pilarski comes over and big rigs her, and she's going to get called for most likely roughing, I would imagine, on that one. I suspect Pilarski's going to... Yeah, she is. She's going to sit down for roughing. We're going to play a little 4-on-4 for 12 seconds, and then we're going to go on the penalty kill as Pilarski gets called for roughing. This is interference. This is roughing. Pilarski's penalties continue. Shot! Kanachi got brained and knocked that down and covers it up. 8:16 in the arena. 4 seconds in the 4-on-4. Get the clock in line here. And Barfight's going to take that draw. Out to the far point. Shot. Got off Kanachi's pad into the corner. And we're back. Now we're on the penalty kill. Yenny chips it ahead to Barfight. Barfight coming down the wall. Barfight gets it in behind the goaltender. Chip it all the way around. And then now Barfight's chasing her back the other way. Here they come up the near wall. They send it all the way across. Now they're going to retreat again. This time they send it up. Schuler. Pick it up. We got 53 seconds to go. Schuler tries to go hard up the wall. Can't quite get it there as the Valleys send it in deeper. Round to the near wall. They bang. Yenny's going to get there. Yenny can't get it out. Valleys send it in front. Schuler should be able to get this one out now. Schuler. She does. Back to neutral. Dahl's going to throw it deep. No icing on the penalty kill. 22 to go in the penalty. 7:15 in the game. Valleys push it across. Kiesel skates up. Don't get too aggressive, Grace. 3-goal lead, 7 minutes to go. There's Kiesel with a pickoff. They're going to be offsides as Yenny had not yet gotten out. And we've got 6 seconds to go in the PK. And I see Kinger, Kiesel, Zivkovic, and Clardy. There's Pilarski sitting in the box on a rough. Kinger. Dies on the line. They send it across. 2 seconds to go. Pilarski will be jumping out here. And there she is. Valley's in behind their goaltender. 6:45 to go. They send a cross-ice pass all the way down past Zivkovic. Zivy should get there first. She does. Sends it back the other way. Odd bounce off the glass. Valley's holding it at the near point. Now Clardy picks it up. Clardy out to Kinger. Kinger with Clardy and Pilarski 3-on-1. Across to Clardy. Clardy, backhand shot as she was falling down and didn't get much on that one. As they battle in the corner. Pilarski there with a couple of Valleys. Now Kinger joins in. Kinger drops it out to Clardy. It's loose. Clardy comes out of there with it. Pushes it lower to Pilarski. Pilarski tried to put it over to King. Couldn't. Here come the Valleys the other way. Zivkovic needed to turn. She was turned the wrong way. She picks it up, sends it back to Kinger. Kinger stops, turns, chips it ahead to herself. Now ahead. They're going to be offsides as Clardy and Kinger jump the zone. Clardy bangs it in deep with 555s on the clock. Goes all the way around to the far wall where the Valleys pick it up, send it ahead to Stevens. Stevens sends it across to Marshall. Marshall loses it at the line. Pilarski. Pilarski throws it into that far corner. Makasenka flying down there to go pick it up. They bank it off the wall. Stevens holds it in Stripes' feet. Throws it deeper. Makasenka chasing it. Now bar fight. Bar fight. Around back for Makasenka. Heavy pressure from a couple of Valleys that are bigger than her. Stevens can't get through. That's interference, and they are going to call it. Stevens draws a penalty from the Valleys, and we're going back on. The Powerball power play. As Kinger and Clardy come out here with Marshall and Stevens. Here comes Pilarski. And they're going to call Stevens off. No, they're not going to call Stevens off. 5:18. Minute 30 on the penalty. Out to Stevens. She can't corral it at the point. She sends it across to Marshall. Marshall into Pilarski. Pilarski skating with it. Loses it in the zone. We're getting some type of a whistle here. We'll see. Not sure what. Offsides? Must be offsides. Pilarski banks it into the zone. Marshall can't corral it there. Marshall will now send it into the zone. We're going to go chase it deep. Pilarski applies pressure. Up the wall, Kinger. Stevens going to hold it. Stevens chips it deep. Back to Kinger. Kinger should get there first, even though it got by her. Up to Marshall. Marshall across to Stevens. Stevens with the one-timer. Goalie with a save. She blasted that wicked slap shot from the point. She connected on the one-timer, kept it low. Puck up into the netting. And Stevens wants that one back. She got the wicked slap shot off. It just didn't find the net. Marshall teed her up on the one-timer. Tindy giving her a high five on that one. Keep shooting it. One of these days it's going to catch a brain or it's going to catch a net. Zivkovic across for Desai. Wrong hand. She can't pull the wicked slap shot from there. And now Makasenka overskates. Valleys have it with 4:28. 36 seconds to go on the power play. We got bar fight, Makasenka, Detling. Desai and Zivy out here. As this one chips deeper. Now they chip it all the way out. Zivkovic will chase it down by Stripes on the red line. She corrals it, sends it back to Detling. No! A Valley cuts it off. Skates around Desai. Skates around everybody. Pushes it to the far side of the net. Now behind. They get it up in the high slot. Shot there. Loose. Low. They put it off Kanachi. Now Zivkovic picks it up. Leaves it loose as Detling takes a hit but knocks it out. Here comes bar fight with Makasenka. Bar fight over to Makasenka. Too far. 3:49. Penalty over. Detling battling. Puck low. Bar fight going to go chase it. Around the backside. They get a stick on it. Desai steps in front. Bar fight going to go in the corner. Bar fight knocks her down in the corner. Comes out of there with a puck side. Send it in front for Makaseka. Couldn't get it through. Here come the Valleys. Valleys coming up the near wall. Push it over to the far side. Schuler going to go chase it down in the far corner as the Valleys head for a change. Time to be a little aggressive as she banks it off the wall. Valleys pick it up there. Not sure they were not on sides. So we'll get our whistle dead with 3:13 in the arena. We'll get a whistle here and a face-off with Marshall, Kiesel, Moss, Shannon, and Warner. Wilkes-Barre with Kiesel and Marshall out back. Kiesel battling in the corner. Warner sends it up the wall. Moss picks it up, sends it out, takes a hit. Valleys pick it up here with 2:45 to go. This one cut off by Warner, sent back the other way. Here come the Valleys. Cut off by Kiesel. Three Valleys on Marshall. Marshall aggressive in her defense there. Stops the first one. They get a shot off. Kanachi with the save. Rebound loose in front. Kiesel clears it off the doorstep, but not all the way out. Far point. Shot from the far point. Down to the low end. Knocked off Kanachi. Kiesel clears it. Again, high slot shot. Missed to the far side. Into the far corner. Valleys chip it up to the far point. Now back into the far corner in behind Kanachi. 2:15 to go. They send it across the goal mouth. Shannon should get there first. She does. Shannon skates it out. Throws it back to neutral ice where the Valleys are going to pick it up at the top of their defensive zone. Send it back the other way. It's going to get by everybody. They wave off the icing. Marshall picks it up behind Kanachi. 1:53. We got Detling. Kiesel tips it. Detling, Mrazek, and Yanni as Detling pushes a player. She lost her lumber. They send it across. It gets through everybody, and they wave off the icing as it comes down the far wall. Around the back. They push it in front. Yanni cut that off. Yanni stops, turns, spins. She's going to take it deeper. In behind the net, behind Kanachi. All the way around to the far point. Kiesel going to get there. Kiesel tries to push it. Kiesel beating and banging with a girl over there. Saw the hands up. This one goes low, Detling. Schuler. Schuler sends it up the wall. Yanni can't get a stick on it. They battle in the corner with 1:09 to go. Around the backside, Kiesel. Kiesel stops, turns, sends it hard around, hits a girl up high in the shoulder with a puck. Detling leaves it for Yanni. Yanni can't get a stick on it. They hold it there. Shot, Kanachi. And it goes through the 5-hole. That one goes through the 5-hole. And that's going to be 4-2. Kanachi put the pads down, didn't get them down fast enough, and got beat 5-hole. 4-2 with 55.9 to go. Claherty, Kinger, Pilarski, Desai, and Marshall as this puck goes in behind the Valley goalie. Here they come up the far side. They send it into neutral. Here comes the goaltender off as they try to tie it up here. Desai whacks it around. Gets by Claherty near point. Now they've got 6 skaters. Puck up high. Missed everything. Marshall whacks at it. And this one will come out. It's going to give King a chance on the empty net. She throws a stick. That's a penalty. That should be an awarded goal for the penalty. They're going to award the goal because you cannot do that. They're going to award Kinger with a goal. I think they award King that goal. So Kinger's going to pick up that goal. Quite frankly, they should call unsportsmanlike conduct on that girl because you cannot do that. But they're going to award the goal. So Kinger's going to pick that up on an awarded goal for the thrown stick with 20 seconds to go. And this one's going to drift all the way to the end wall. The Valleys are going to have it there into the far corner as Marshall steps up. Desai, and it's going to turn into a breakaway. Pilarski skating back. Puck loose. Kanachi knocks that to the wall. In behind. They throw it out front. They beat Kanachi at the buzzer. I think they're going to give them one there, and I think that one's going to end 5-3 as they beat Comanche at the buzzer. I'm going to give you the handshake, get over the YouTube delay, fire up the Benzie, baby. We're bringing home 3 wins from Boston. And we'll see you the next time these girls are in action as always. Thanks for watching. Have a good Sunday.